Bloomberg Audio Studios.
Podcasts, radio, news.
This is Bloomberg Businessweek with Carol Massar and Tim Stenovec on Bloomberg Radio.
There's no better way to introduce our next guest than just read from her latest story.
I know,
Carol.
it's pretty amazing.
I kind of do this all the time with Amanda Mull. Scan the crowd at any youth soccer.
Wait. We need like table reads of all of her stories. We're just going to start doing that. But go ahead.
Okay. Scan the crowd at any youth soccer or softball tournament in America, and you're likely to find that many of the moms cheering on their kids have brought along a similar array of gear. Folding nylon camp chairs, a rainbow of enormous Stanley insulated cups, collapsible wagons with off-road wheels, and a menagerie of boxy, bright tote bags that look to be constructed from the same pliable, perforated plastic as Crocs.
How do I not have one of these?
Well,
How is
okay,
that?
these are Bogg
Does Rebecca
Bags.
have one?
No, I've never heard of these.
All right, go ahead.
Okay, maybe it's because my kids aren't old enough to be in these youth sports scenes. I have no idea what these things are, but they are big business. Amanda Mull is a Bloomberg Businessweek senior reporter. She writes about the big business of Bogg Bags. It's my alliteration there. She joins us from New York. What are these things, Amanda? And what does it say about Carol and me that we have no idea what these things are until
Be careful. We can cut your mic at any time.
Well, it says mostly that you live in New York City.
Okay. Is this not a New York
very
thing?
Close by. No, these are mostly super popular in the suburbs, and they really over-index in the suburbs.
We're both wiping our
Midwest
foreheads like, whew. Okay, go ahead.
They were actually, the company was started very near to the city, though, in northern New Jersey. They are big, hyper-usable tote bags. They're very lightweight, and they are especially popular among nurses, healthcare workers of all types, teachers, and moms. You can put a ton of stuff in the full-size version. They sit up when you put them in a like in the passenger seat of a car or on the ground at a youth soccer game or at the beach. So they are just like hyper utilitarian, hyper functional totes that have really caught on, almost entirely based on word of mouth.
They literally look like bags made of Crocs. They have holes in them.
They are perforated. You can put little accessories in them. You can customize them, which is also a big appeal for a lot of people.
Oh, yeah. Bog
decorate
Bevy. $20.
All right. Who is the wonder mom behind all of this?
Her name is Kim Vaccarella. She is a mom from New Jersey. She was an accountant in a real estate office before all of this happened, and she was the mom of kids who played sports. And she wanted a bag that could hold like just a ton of like unwieldy stuff to take to their games, to take to the beach, to just sort of take everywhere. And she couldn't really find anything that was, that fit all of the criteria that she was looking for. So she decided to design one herself. She didn't have any background in design. Her husband is not in the industry. She knew a couple women who worked in the city, who worked in the apparel industry. So she asked them for some pointers, for some recommendations, but she did the whole thing from scratch. She still owns the company. It's an entirely sort of like self-made business.
But at the same time, it hasn't been like a rocket ship up. It's been a long and winding road with some pretty significant speed bumps. She kept at it, though. What were some challenges that she's faced just in the last, more than 10 years since she's been working on this?
Right. She first prototyped the bag in the late 2000s, and she started ordering like a couple hundred at a time to sell in like local northern New Jersey boutiques. And she did pretty well with that, she told me. And she wanted to bring the bag to like a larger selection of retailers and pitch them. So she and her husband used like most of their savings to make an order of like an entire container full of bags that came over from the manufacturer overseas. And when they got here, they were damaged. So she ended up donating the entire lot to Hurricane Sandy recovery. That the hurricane hit the Jersey Shore a few months later. She decided that she was in over her head and wound down the business. And she and her husband found a good cause to send these to, so they could write them off and sort of try to recover financially from all of this. And then the people who received them, as they were full of supplies for people who were recovering from Sandy. And a few months later, when things started to get closer to normal for some of these people who received them, she started getting calls. People wanted more of them. They loved the bags they had
Wow.
received, and their sisters or aunts or cousins or coworkers wanted their own. So she started the business back up
I feel like this is
and started
karma,
ordering
like
more
incredible
bags.
karma.
I'm thinking like you pay it forward, right? You
Yeah.
just do something, you have a bad luck, you do something really good, and then eventually, like maybe it actually comes back to you. It's really wild. It reminds me, like, something that could become so ubiquitous, like the LL Bean canvas bags that I feel like everybody uses for anything and everything. So where is she now? What kind of growth has she seen? Where can we get them? Where can I get one? Where can Tim get one? Like, just tell us a little bit more. Like, where is it going?
Right. Well, the business grew like slowly but surely until the pandemic hit. And then during the pandemic, she sort of had another like crazy spurt in growth because people who were going back to work, healthcare workers and teachers in particular, really, really liked them. And the bags had caught on in Peloton Facebook groups that had a lot of these particular types of workers in them. And when Peloton took off during the pandemic, so did these Facebook groups. So this recommendation moved by word of mouth. In 2019, before the pandemic, they sold about $3 million worth of bags. They are on pace for $100 million in sales this year.
God. Is
That's
it just, and it's not just bags
still,
anymore,
still
right?
self-funded.
It's not just,
Sorry.
yeah, go ahead.
It's still self-funded. They have about 50 employees now. It's still based in northern New Jersey. They have mostly just bags, but they sell some accessories to customize the bags. It is
gibbets.
largely, yeah. They have, the little things that you can poke into the holes in the bag are very, very popular, and they're always coming out with more of those. They have experienced just sort of meteoric growth. She told me that there's been no like single moment that really changed everything. There was no like viral TikTok. There was no like celebrity endorsement. They don't pay for much advertising. It is almost
There's
entirely
no
word of mouth.
Beyonce bag yet.
No. And based on like all of my research, this is true. Like there is no like outside force that made this happen except moms and nurses and teachers recommending them to each other and finding a lot of utility in
I
them.
love that you can just kind of like rinse it down. I love things that you can just rinse it down.
Like
I
spray
do,
with those.
really, right?
Yeah, of course.
Unbelievable. You wanted to say, wait.
Yeah, are they going to get bought by Crocs? Do they go public? What happens here? Just 20 seconds.
She is really intent on continuing to grow the business for right now, but I'm sure if she wanted to sell, she could do it no problem. They're sold everywhere from Bloomingdale's to Bass Pro Shop right now.
Wow.
Oh my God. Do you have one?
I don't have one, no. I don't have
Yeah.
any kids.
Okay. Yeah, but you don't have to, as we know. Amanda Mull. We just love talking to you. Amanda Mull, of course, Bloomberg Businessweek senior reporter, joining us.